everyone. Today we'll be starting a new chapter for Agricultural Sciences, topic 1, right? So it's animal nutrition and digestion. Section 1 will be covering Unit 1, which is uh, animal nutrition, right? So we'll be looking at the Alimentary Canal of Ruminants first, and then after that we'll be looking at Alimentary Canal of non-ruminants, right? And firstly, this is a ruminant. It can be a cow, it can be a giraffe, it can be a goat. You see, a non-ruminant, it can be a fowl or a chicken, it can be a pig. You see, and then in this case, you're having what we are having a cattle, right? So a cattle is one examples of the what of the ruminants. So how do we identify that something is a ruminant and something is a non-ruminant? A ruminant, it has a complex stomach, right? It has been divided into four stomachs, right? And then the non-ruminant, it only has a simple stomach, which is a one stomach, monogastric, right? And then in this case, the firstly the we are having a what? We are having the esophagus, right? Esophagus, which is the entry point here. We are having the esophagus, right? And then the esophagus, and then after that, it's where a bowl of food called bolus gets in, right? And then after getting in, it goes firstly into the what? In the rumen. That's the first stomach. As you can see on the definition, if you go to rumen is the first and the largest stomach of the ruminant. It contains microorganisms. Microorganisms, it can be what? It can be fungi. It can be what? It can be, yeah, there are many kinds of, there are four kinds of, it can be viruses, you see. There are four kinds of microorganisms. And then we are having what? After it goes into the rumen, it goes out. When it goes back to the mouth, what happens is that the foreign materials are left in the the reticulum. The reticulum, if you read the definition, the reticulum is the honeycomb, is a honeycomb shape. You need to know the shape. Is the honeycomb shape, is the second stomach of the ruminant, and it traps foreign materials such as wires. Foreign materials are wires, plastics, etc. Right? So when let me just say maybe a cow eats, it forms a bolus, right? Inside that bolus, it can be plastics, it can be papers, it can be whatever, because of cows just chew anything, you see. And then after that, those foreign materials are left in the reticulum, right? Remember that. And it's the smallest stomach of a ruminant, the reticulum. And then what happens is that when the food goes back again to the mouth, that's called retro or reverse peristalsis. But when food comes in to the mouth for the first time, that's called what? Peristalsis, which is the process whereby like food is being taken in with the wave-like motions, you see. And then after that, we have the what? When the food, after now is the process whereby a cow chews the food. And then after that, after it chews the food, remember a cow has molars, premolars, you see. And then after that, after the canines, and then after it chews that food, it comes back again. And then after being chewed, and then remember the first time, the reason the food comes back to the mouth is that the first time it doesn't chew it, you see. The first time it doesn't chew it, it chews it for the second time, and then after that being chewed for the second time, it goes back to the omasum, and then after omasum it goes back to the what? It goes back to the abomasum, and then right now it goes out. And remember, due to the definition, omasum is the leaf-shaped or a page-like, and is the third stomach of the ruminant. Is the third stomach of the ruminant, right? Remember the shape. It's a leaf-like or page-like, right? And then the abomasum, it's a true or milk stomach of a ruminant. Abomasum is exactly the same as the stomach of a pig. Remember that. They will ask you a question similar to that. The reason a abomasum looks exactly the same as the that of a pig is because of is the true stomach, and then the pig, it has only one stomach, so we can't call the pig stomach abomasum. But what we are trying to say here, what we're trying to illustrate, is that they're the same. And then the four stomachs, the first stomach is the combined name of the rumen, reticulum, and omasum of the ruminant, right? So if I don't want to say rumen, reticulum, and omasum, I can say the four stomachs. You just need to know that I mean rumen, reticulum, and omasum is the combined name, and then the reticulorumen is the combined name of the reticulum, and rumen. If I don't want to say rumen and reticulum, I can say reticular rumen. These are one word questions that they can ask you. The omosum, the esophagus, remember, it's a what? The esophagus is a gullet, or it's a true tube-like structure that leads from the back of the throat, the pharynx, to the stomach, right? So it's where the food passes, a bowl of food called bolus passes, and then we have what we also have. What I explained the difference between ruminants and non-ruminants. So ruminants are animals that have a complex stomach, you see, and then meaning that non-ruminants are what are animals that have a non-complex stomach, meaning that they have only one stomach. But ruminants, they have what a complex stomach, meaning they are divided into what four chambers, four stomachs, and it chews the what it chews the cud, and non-ruminants doesn't chew the cud, you see, and then the small intestine, after the food has gone through all those four stomachs, it goes to the small intestine, which is also divided into three parts, but I will discuss that in the next session. And then the large intestine is also divided into three parts. I will also explain that in the next session. So what you need to know right now is that small intestine is it serves as it absorbs nutrients, right? It absorbs nutrients. And then the large intestine, it absorbs what? It absorbs water, you see. And then that's that, guys. And remember one thing, that we only have anus in what? Anus is only found in what? In cattle. It can be found in what? In pigs, you see, and humans, and etc. But as for the what? As for the chicken or the fowl, it's not called the anus, it's called the cloaca. But we will discuss that when we get through. Thank you for joining this session and being with me. Thank you for listening, and then I hope you enjoyed and learned some things. Thank you. uh Upcoming, up next is section 1.2. We will discuss that, and we will learn and continue learning. Thank you, guys.